Hey guys, so I did a live stream of today's Nations Cup, round two, which is with the perhaps the most notorious and hard to drive car, the F3500-A. There's an F3500-A and B, they're fairly similar, but that's probably the toughest car to handle and drive in the whole of GT7. And it's on a track which is perhaps its worst nemesis, like in terms of how the car actually handles. It was at the Laguna Seca, so I don't think a lot of people were keen to do this round, but I did it anyway. I did it twice, and the first time, well, I started P10 and couldn't get a decent quali lap, and I finished, I think, P6 or P7. And the second time around, I started P6 and I finished P4. This is basically the replay of the second race, and I did get quite a lot of people watching it live, and people who know me, they kind of messaged me saying I should probably do a rundown of the whole race and the race strategy. So yeah, here it is. Whether you are a DRA, A plus, B, C, D, E, whatever driver, right? The race strategy remains the same for anyone in terms of what tires you want to have, the brake balance, and all of those things. I'll basically get onto that in detail. So yeah, let's start. So I'll just probably switch to this view, which is going to be easier for you guys to relate to what I'm saying. But yeah, let's start. So yeah, this is basically just the formation lap, and the race will start in a couple of seconds. So remember guys, because this car is extremely twitchy and it's very oversteery, and it's very easy for you to spin out and lose control. It's a very powerful car. What I would suggest is, I mean, I wouldn't recommend having traction control on, but even if you want to do like a TCS 1 or 2 should be fine. But you see here, I took the inside line. I anticipated a lot of people are gonna battle it out in the T1, which is turn 1. So I took the inside line, and I basically got saved by the carnage. So this T1 is extremely important. The reason I'm showing you this is because I'm going to show you the view of the P15, this guy. See what happened? Yeah, so that's precisely why I basically keep saying that you have to start well, right? So you see how twitchy they are, even at the formation lap. So I'm going to move on. I'm not going to keep rewinding things here and there. The first corner of any race is the most important one. This guy spun out, and I'm a little ahead there, but you see just what happened here, right? So these guys are battling it out, and I took the inside line, so I'm safe. But you see how Richard hit like number 7 hit number 8, right? I'll just rewind that a little bit. I take the inside line, and then it's just carnage, right? I literally gained so many positions. I'll get back to my camera view and I'll start the race once and for all, like without any stoppages or breaks. But yeah, I'm still learning all of these things in terms of adjusting the camera angle and stuff like that. But I will give you the view. Yeah, I'll give you this view so that you would know. And yep, this is just a formation lap. I'm probably gonna do one. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, see how twitchy this guy is, Richard. So now see what happens. So this guy behind him is battling Richard. I take the inside line, slowly, upshift. Yeah, and then, well, the battle is on. So now I'm just gonna drive my point of view, POV. And again, I anticipate these guys are ending up in the rubble, so I stay away from trouble. Right, so that is basically the whole strategy. The whole strategy is basically to ensure, and there are people, look at that guy spinning at the back, right? Look at this. So now the relatively good drivers are up in the front. I think the top 5, they basically came, this guy spun out and I hit the rubble over there. My entry wasn't good, but I managed it. Yeah, I take this turn. I'm just going to switch back here to see, right? Yeah, this is what happens. So that guy, he basically lost a lot of control of the car. And see what he does now. This guy, number 4, he tries to take the inside line. Just keep watching. Yeah, he's trying his best. He probably clipped me a little bit, nothing to worry as much. Yeah, he's trying his best. So I'm switching to his POV. Yeah, he's trying to literally battle out. So I just let him. Yeah, here's his POV, right? So I take this turn pretty smooth. I accelerate. I'm anticipating that he is going to fight me for my position for sure, because generally what happens is the drivers who are a little immature and not like super experienced, they will try to fight you right on the first or second lap on every turn, instead of just following your slip, being mature and waiting for the right opportunity. Like I could have overtaken number 2 whenever I wanted. On one of the turns I could have played it smart or over smart, which is why I let him know there. I just clipped him. I basically let him know that, bro, that's not done. So just so you know how I lost my position, that's how I did. So when this guy touches me, he doesn't get me enough room. I just slowed down and I was like, okay, whoever wants to pass me, he can pass me. I'll be a good boy. And yep, the guy behind me is still a fair bit. I got a purple lap despite kind of screwing up, but it's okay. I think the first 3 or 4 laps, you eventually, if you're decent paced, you will get purple laps, but it's no big deal. Now let's see the battle happening here. Number 3 and number 4 are going at it, so I'm just maintaining my distance. I'm trying to coast wherever I can, save the tires. Fuel is not going to be a problem because it's just 2x. Tires would be an issue. Yeah, I hit the donut there. Yep, this guy spun out. So that's how I gain 1 position to P4. I also lose positions in the future laps. You will witness all of that. My beautiful driving and my beautiful spinning outs. I think I spun out twice in this race, if I'm not mistaken. It's a really hard track and a really hard car. So you can see I just took it slow because the guy behind me, I kept watching the person behind me just to see what line he's following. Obviously I can tell how far he or she is from me because of the markers. For some reason now, if you look at the top left hand corner, it doesn't tell me the distance anymore, but I guess in the race it did. Yeah, if you clip that a little bit, it's fine as long as you are at a higher gear and your rev is also the right rev during that time, so that you can prevent your car like understeering, or for that matter even spinning out, because you need to be in the right gear at that point. The donuts here are super crazy. Yep. I'm taking a wider line because I don't want his dirty air. My aim is basically to ensure that I don't fully rev the car. So fuel again is not going to be an issue, but because of the 4X tire wear, I kind of wanted to ensure that I have decent tires, like decent amount of tires left at the end of lap 14. My aim was to probably pit at the end of lap 14 or maybe at the end of lap 13, so that I start the 15th lap with fresh tires. That was basically my aim. And I'm driving at a +3 brake balance. I could have also done a +5 or a +4, but I chose +3 because I don't need this car to be any more twitchy than what it already is. So now this guy spins out and I take the opportunity to overtake him. And yeah, exactly. So I spin out as well. Now my radar is on, so I know exactly where other drivers are. So I'm kind of like taking my own sweet time, regaining my balance, because I don't want to disrupt anyone else in the race. I don't want to disrupt anyone else's race as well, obviously. And this car is, like I said, extremely twitchy, and with a front or rear damage, it's even worse. Obviously, it's a temporary damage, 30 to 40 seconds, so I think it's a light damage. So I'm still obviously much slower here than my usual pace, because I kind of wanted to ensure that I don't get any penalties. I don't get, yeah, so my tires were still not that grippy, because there's something called as grip reduction. I think the grip reduction in this is real. So if you ever go off track, like I just did, so for the next 40 seconds or maybe like half a lap, I would not have that much grip on the actual track, because technically, yeah, so I let him go because I didn't have any grip there. I also did a bad exit out of the corkscrew. Yeah. So who's the guy who said live and let live, right? I'm sure some guy said live and let live. I kind of like doing that even in a race or in life. So I like to give people way if I know I'm not, I don't have that much momentum at that point. Maybe I spun out, or maybe I got a bad exit, but then someone behind me is they're like jetting in. I like to give them the space. I'm like, okay, yeah, you guys can go, or you can go, dude. I'll catch up to you later. That's how I do it. I'm trying to get the inside line. I hit the donut again over there, and the bollards here are extremely bad. It's literally, it just makes this track a lot more challenging. I mean, you also have bollards in GT7 and Spa, and obviously a lot of other tracks as well. But Laguna Seca is a very notoriously tricky track. It's a short track, one of the shortest in the game, but especially with this car, only a sadist Yeah, so you see what happened there. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. I'm sorry, but only a sadist will come up with this combination. Oh, so he's a lot more behind me there. So I try to take the inside line because this guy is very slow, and I know that I had to get, yeah, so I just slightly punched him away, you would say, because he was not letting me through. He was not being a gentlemanly driver, because he knows that I have a bit more pace. So I was just following my line. My idea was not to nudge him off, but if that's what it takes to to get someone off my back or my tail, then that's what I'll do. And I didn't do it badly. I just nudged him off, saying, hey bro, just stay away, just go away, move away, give way for faster cars. And you will see that in the last couple of laps I actually lap people, and those morons, for some reason, they don't move out of the way. And I hate such people. So my aim here is basically to not get a single penalty. So I got total of 3 spin outs in my first and second tryout, which is I did this Nations Cup round 2. I did this twice. Yeah, I spin out again. So this is my second spin out of the race, and I get a third spin out maybe at the 21st lap. I was comfortably P3, could have been P2, but yeah, you'll see that. I don't want to spoil the show. I don't want to reveal like spoilers. I don't want to tell you what's going to happen. But I ended up losing a lot of position there because I had to regain control of the car, and I also am very aware of my track radar. I use a couple of telemetry data as well, telemetry information as well. I use a couple of apps. If you're interested, you can just send me a message or comment, and I'll tell you what the apps are. So I have the track map here that basically shows the distance between other racers and me. And I also have track radar, tire temperature, a few things like that. So it kind of tells me what I need to do. So I did 2 races, like I said, I did 2 attempts, and in this particular attempt I spun out 3 times, and in my previous attempt I only spun out twice, but I couldn't keep up with slow drivers because they were always coming in the way and I was trying to move them away, but we'll see what I do here. Also, just pay attention to my gear shifts. This car is extremely twitchy, so just pay attention to how I do it, what I do. I also trail brake quite a lot, especially on this corner, which is why I'm able to get that smooth turn, and I get an early access to the rev bar, to the RPM, to the power. So literally there is no one behind me. Yeah, so my aim is basically to ensure that I do a clean overtake, and at the same time I'm also very cognizant of the fact that people brake check all the time, they play dirty, and I also like to keep my distance, and I'm trying to induce a mistake from him by putting pressure on him, which is why I'm braking late, so that he gets the illusion that I'm closer to him than I actually am. So let's see what I do here. I don't get a single penalty in this race or in my earlier one. The same track, obviously. I did this twice, remember. So 25 laps into 2 is 50. Yeah, so you see how I overtook him. This is what I call as inducing a mistake and then do a clean overtaking, right? So I go wide, because I wanted to take the inside line, and then this guy obviously missed his braking marker because he was obviously looking at me, and that allowed me to take the inside line. And then my aim now is to not make a mistake, and I know I'm faster than him. I'm basically faster than all these guys on this lobby. The tragedy of my life was I was very close to becoming a DRA, but then my lobby crashed twice during the last Manufacturers Cup round 2, and my DR fell crazy. And from being at the 85th or 90th percentile of B, about to be A, I got to the 70th percentile of C. So unfortunately, I had to enter this race in the C lobby. So yeah, I know. My aim was to enter in an A lobby. I think I have the pace of an A driver. Okay, so this guy spins out. I would love to see how that happened because I couldn't see that in the race, right? So yeah, I just want to know how that happens. Oh, okay. So he basically hit the bollard on the left apex really hard. And like I keep saying to people, you have to upshift a little early, and he didn't do that either. So yeah, one man's loss is another man's gain. In this case, it was my gain, and I somehow control my car there. So almost everyone in this race gets a penalty. You would see that maybe you would see a couple of red flags above people. They got penalties and all of those things. It's also very easy to get a penalty. You just have to do one wrong move. Either you like crash into someone, punt someone, dash into someone, just nut someone off. What I did earlier with the other guy, that's called a gentlemanly nudge, saying, hey bro, just keep out. It's a very gentlemanly nudge, so which is why I did not get any penalties for pushing another opponent out or whatever. But yeah, I'm basically trying my best to ensure that I can overtake this guy as well the most clean way possible without me jeopardizing my position. So yeah, I was able to do that. So again, the aim is to basically induce mistakes from other people just by putting them in pressure and creating an illusion that you are nearer to them, catching up to them, than you actually are. So I decide to not pit on this lap, and I know that you cannot see the time distance on the top, but I wanted to put a fair amount of distance between me and the guy earlier that I just overtook. I know that he was a lapped guy, but I'm talking about the guy before that. So I ended up with 14 seconds gap between him and I. Oh, and guess who's got the fastest lap? This is still not as fast as I would like. I'm still yeah, I'm still about a second or 1.5 seconds actually slower than what I'm actually capable of on this track, what I've done during practice. I think I did a mid 106, but yeah, that was practice. So I decided to pit at this lap, and the tire change is critical, but you don't want to refuel. Okay, so to not refuel, that is the worst thing you can do. Do not refuel. Okay, so I'm just gonna pit out. I'm just gonna fast forward that. And you also have to be very, very careful about the pit entry and exit, especially the exit as well, because during exit it'll just give you, hand over the car back to you, you know, in a very weird position. So if you are if you are on a steering wheel like I am, and if you have not turned your car exactly to the same curvature as it's supposed to be, so like you have to pretend like you're actually driving it even though you're not, right? It's an auto drive out of the pit. You have to have that right curvature, otherwise you will spin out. And this car is extremely awesome in spinning out. You don't have to have any skill, or you don't even have to put any efforts in this car to spin out. You have to put a lot of efforts to not spin out. So Richard over here, P8, just spits, and that allows me to gain a position on him. So ideally you should pit at the end of lap 14, so that the last 10 laps, like, you can be on relatively fresher tires. But depends on what your position is. The aim is to have as less position from the guys at the front and as much position to the guys at the back, right? So the timing is critical. So one of the reasons I pitted maybe a lap later than I wanted to, or maybe a lap earlier, I would say, than I would have liked, is because I had a great position. Let's see what happens there. I'll just yeah, I would love to see what happened there. Yeah, not this guy. Yeah, this guy totally spins out. So it's very easy to spin out, okay? It's very easy to lose control of the car. Just don't. I mean, I know it's easier to preach than practice, and trust me, I spun out thrice in this race. I easily could have been P1. Definitely I could have been a P2, and for sure I could have been a P3. But well, I ended up where I ended up. You'll see where I ended up. Again, for some reason you are unable to see the distance between cars or the top left-hand corner. It's probably some bug in GT7. But I took a much shorter route than I usually would. I trail braked the hell out of that turn. I didn't want to go back and see, but you know, you guys can rewind it if you wanted to. So the T1 that I took, sorry, I'm just having some water and drinking at the same time. The T1 that I took, just rewind to that. I took a much shorter radius than I have the entire race, because I wanted to like drift and trail brake at the same time and just speed away with stability, because the guys at the back were kind of like far away, and I wanted to ensure that I gain a bit more time on them. See, there's basically no one behind me at this point. Yeah, so this is usually the kind of T1 entry and exit that I take. Coast here, you don't need to brake at all. Just be very careful of the bollard at the left, on the left side, okay? Just be very careful. It's very easy, like I said, to just clip that bollard and go for a spin. And this is one of those kind of spins that you would really not enjoy going. I mean, I like to take my car out for a spin, but yeah, not this kind of spin. Yeah. someone else did something there, I would love to see what they did, because, well, I didn't see that during the race. So what does Mr. Rothmans do? Ah, okay. He didn't do anything. Yeah, I tried the same strategy here. So, I don't know what happened. Ah, okay. So, he spun out on his own. Got it. Sorry, I'm still learning all of this shit. So, pardon my French and my, well, techniques in terms of not just racing, but also video commentary. Right, so it would have been fun if you guys would have seen the distance between the cars at the top left. I was able to see all of that information, so I could kind of understand if I'm gaining on the person in the front, or you know, like losing time to the person at the back. I would generally not lose time in C lobbies, but yeah, so I could get all of that information. Yeah, I really nail that final turn, which is I think after the corkscrew. That turn is a lot of people, like 99% of the people, they would say that after the corkscrew exit, that specific turn is like you know, the biggest nightmare on this track for people, especially on a car like this or a GR1 car. That particular braking point, you need to nail it. And to make matters worse, there is a bollard right at the right side. So yeah, over here you see, now I should ideally have gotten a penalty. That's what I think. My apologies. But I should have gotten a penalty. But then I wanted to kind of let you guys know that as long as one of your tires, some part of it, you see here, some part of it is on the apex on the left, right? My idea, and I've done this quite a lot in this race and the previous race, instead of going wide around this particular bollard, which is just behind my car's ass, the donut basically, I sometimes try to take it, I sometimes try to take the car right from the center of this bollard, right? So just like how you would do or drive on the road in your own car, if you see like a small pothole or something. I mean, I'm from India, so there are a shitload of potholes here in India. So if you don't go around the pothole at a certain speed, you try to like figure out a way to position your car to the center of the pothole and try to take it from like all the four wheels exactly the center, so no undulations, no shaking. The passengers in your car are safe, and you're like pretty good, and you go over that same fundamental concept, right? I'm trying to ensure that I go between that, so I don't hit the bollard. It's very tough. I don't nail it a lot of times, but a lot of times I do nail it. But I was so sure during the race that I'm gonna get my first penalty in like 45 laps. So 20, 25 earlier and 20 of this, so 45 laps. But I didn't. I just saw that why now, while like commentating on my own replay, because of the left tires being a little bit on the apex. But you see how the tires on the right, they are slightly sandy. Yeah, that's grip reduction, and I'll have a slight loss of grip for maybe 10-15 seconds, because I sped past that instead of spinning on the gravel. Again, that ideally you have to control the car in the right way, but you can avoid a penalty if your left tires right at that entry point, I would say the exit point. Oh, what happened here? I would love to see what happened here. So yeah, so this guy Ah, he just spun out. Did he have like... No, he was on fresh tires. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you guys this, why he spun out. Okay, so yeah, he tries to overspin the car. Yeah, that's exactly what he does. But the good thing is he manages to regain some semblance of control. But the bad part is what he does now. Okay, he does not let me pass. By the way, this is the turn I was talking about. That is one of the toughest turns. In fact, I'll show you right now. Just take a look how to take the turn, right? Which gear, how to do it the right way. Yeah, that's the braking marker right between 2 and 1. You clip the apex a little bit, but avoid that bollard. You can just go back and see it again and see what this guy does now, right? So this is basically ungentlemanly driving, right? He should have let me pass. He should have just gone to the right. But this is what happens in the C lobby. So this is where I decide I will not fight with the guy, because he is an extremely erratic driver, and the distance between me and the other car at the back, there's literally no one behind me. So I was like, I don't want to screw up my race. The 21 lap effort, right? So I'm not fighting him. I'm just, again, trying to induce mistake from him. I tried to take the inside line, but again, he doesn't let me. And Laguna Seca, anyway, it's a narrow track, so the overtaking opportunities are very minimal without causing damage to yourself or your opponent. You know, you can't really overtake that well on this track. So I'm actually driving very conservatively. I'm just at the right amount of distance so that I don't get his dirty air. And I also, like, in case if he spins out again, I have that ability to just overtake him, like zoom past him. And generally GT7 would ghost your car if you're in that position. So if you are spinning out and you know there's someone else just zooming past you, they would ghost the other person's car or your car. So again, my aim was to do a very smooth turn exit from T1 and T2, and I was very conservative there. Again, I'm trying to maintain distance because that is when I realized that I have to maintain more distance from him because of the dirty air problem. So again, I wanted to show you here, because of the dirty air, I got a shit ton of understeer, and over here as well, but I somehow managed it. Yep, so exactly, that's what your boy did. Let's relive this moment in its utmost glory, so that you guys don't end up doing what I did. Oops, so sorry. Yeah, so yeah, just see what I did, right? So the exit is fine. The only problem is I should have upshifted here to third, but instead I upshifted late, and if I would probably just continued on the second. So upshifting late, it's better if you just lift instead of pushing. So I should have probably just lifted or upshifted to third a little early, but yeah. And now I have to regain control. So see how many cars are going past me. Yeah, so these are some of the lapped cars, right? So I lose 3 positions there, and oops, I gain 1. I would love to know what happened to that guy. Yeah, this guy. Maybe not. This guy, yeah. Oh, he overshot it. Yeah, so these guys get a yellow flag warning. You see how that guy got ghosted? Yeah, even I got ghosted. Yeah, that happens, right? So that's good. So this guy just, yeah, okay. So he basically just overshot his corner at that point. Yeah, so I'm just gonna show you guys right from where we left off. Okay, I'm quickly able to gain one position for sure. And remember, one of the guys up ahead is one of the cars that I've already lapped. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That he tried doing something very weird. Okay, what does he do? Ah, oh, he dive bombed. Jeez, that car. Look at this car, okay? Look at this guy. He just dive bombs. Yeah, he tries to take us out, like both of us. Jeez, Adam, that is not cool. Yep, and he gets a 3-second penalty, and rightfully so. The asshole. Yeah. Damn. I really don't know how I managed to avoid that shit. Yeah, because I was already done with my turn, and the other guy as well, he tried to, well, push me a little off track. Maybe that was not his intention. He was trying to defend himself with the other dive bombing guy, but that was so not cool. I wish I had reported that guy. Maybe I still can, and maybe I will. Yeah, so just one other thing, I clipped the bollard this time, right? I clipped the donut, but see how I do it without losing balance. 99% you are going to lose balance, but if you do this the way I did it, right? So I'm trying to kind of like take my right, like the two tires on the right side, right? I'm trying to take it like a little over it, like to the right of the bollard of the donut. But instead I ended up clipping it. But the thing that saves me is I'm not on the 4th gear. I'm almost at the extreme high ref point of the 3rd gear, right? That's the only thing that basically saves me at this point. So yeah, gear shifting, knowing which gear to be at, that's basically a skill in its own right. So at this point I'm going to switch to the 2 cars ahead because something does happen. So okay, maybe I'll do it when I have to. Okay, you know what, I'll just do it now. Okay, so it looked like the guys were fighting, but evidently they were quite ahead or behind each other, so they had a good distance. So but from my POV, from my point of view, it looked like they were almost neck to neck, but evidently not as much. Yeah, so I'm on P5 right now with literally almost 1 lap more to go. Yeah, you saw the blue flag. It was basically for one of the, yeah, for this guy up front. It's basically to, it's a polite way to ask him to like get the fuck out. Like at this point, he can basically either quit the race or just like let other people pass. And this guy gives me a lot of trouble. He does not let me pass. So the game also does one thing for you, like if there's someone who is battling out, so I'm getting his dirty air as well, so that's not cool. If someone with a blue flag is battling you, the game eventually ghosts that guy. So you would see that happening now, probably. Oh, or maybe not. Oh, okay. I wish I... Oh, there's something happened in the front. So I would love to see what happened. Okay. Yeah, there was certainly a fight there. I'll go back to my POV shortly. I just want to see what happens here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have to go all the way back to number 14 to see what really happened there. Yeah, I just got back to my POV. It's fine. So, yeah, the car that spun out was like, it was already lapped. Like, these two guys cause a lot of misery for the rest of us. Yeah. 13 and 14. Great racing, guys. So you see how GT7 just, you know, yeah. So now I'm going to show you something funny, all right? Oh no, this guy's too far ahead or far away from me. But yeah, sure, okay. So now let's see what happens, right? These guys eventually crash out. See that? So that was one of those lapped car guys. Okay, so over here I'm at this point, I'm like, okay, you know what, I'll just punt you guys off. I will not get a penalty. So if you are if someone with a blue flag is not giving you away for more than 10 to 15 seconds, you can literally kill them at this point, and you will not get a penalty, or neither will your SR drop. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what happens at the back right after this. Because remember, behind these two lapped guys, Pritoto or Pritoto or whatever that's spelled like. Yeah. Yeah, man. So I don't have any idea why this guy is trying to battle me, but as you can see, I'm actually gaining on him. But oh yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to see. Sebastian Boss. Damn, that was dirty. That was super dirty, man. Yeah, final lap. Oh, he tries to take me out. Does that guy try to take me out? Like at this point, I would not be doing that, what he just did. Damn, that's so not cool. You see that? Yeah, that's yeah. So I should have been in an A lobby, but I ended up being in the C lobby because of the lobby crash twice that happened during the last Manufacturers Round 2, and I didn't race the whole of Manufacturers Cup after that. But I wanted to kind of show you guys how dirty and stupid the B lobbies are. Do I? Yeah, okay. So I think that guy DJ or whatever the guy's name is, yeah, he basically is P3, the dirty driver. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that race. I hope you enjoyed learning about a few things. The key over here is like, I'm just gonna let this thing coast, but avoid that bollard. That is you know, T2 literally, and if you can, try to take your car from the center, right? So that is basically what you do. I don't want to restart the whole thing again, but remember, if you are starting somewhere in the middle of the pack like I am, so I'm starting P7, which is literally the middle of the pack, you have to ensure that you stay right, you know, on the slip. So this track, staying in the slip is extremely difficult because this track is not meant for being on slip, right? This track does not really have a straight per se, so there's no slip. The only thing you are gonna get for sure is dirty air, so beware of that. But when you start the race, just ensure that you are in that cluster, but at the same time you are extremely well aware of what's happening, like, you know, around you. You have to have you know, as Ross says, unagi, right? So you have to have that, and you have to ensure that you don't get into the, you know, the cluster bomb, right, where people are crashing and, you know, trying to take each other out. You have to avoid that trouble. So stay on the inside line and enjoy the race. And I'm gonna just show you just one thing here, how I stay on the inside line, anticipating that the race is going to be slightly tricky. Yeah, just on the P1. I'm not going to do the whole race again, guys, but okay. So I straight away take the inside line. I could have taken it wide, but no, I knew what was going to happen. Yeah, see people taking each other's out, right? So I straight away gained 2 positions just for that. And I think in the one corner after that, a couple of corners, I get to another position. I just want to try and avoid trouble wherever I can, and I hope you guys can do the same. Thanks for watching and have a great time.